I'm on social media a lot, and what I see is a lot of 9 to 5 bashing. And I wanted to make this video to objectively compare a life of entrepreneurship versus a life of being in the 9 to 5. So let's get into it. So with me, right, I'm someone that has both, right? I have a business and I have a 9 to 5. So I feel like I can speak on what it's like to be an entrepreneur and also what it's like to be in a 9 to 5. And what I'll tell you is social media tends to glamorize being an entrepreneur. They tend to gloss over it, like, oh yeah, you work for yourself. You can wake up anytime you want. You can do this, you can do that, you make all this money, you can travel, you can do this. No one tells you what to do, right? That's the end of the cycle for an entrepreneur, I would say. Like someone that actually has a successful, well-running business, then you can get to the point where you're actually free like that. You can wake up anytime, you can do whatever you want. Sure. Here's the main issue, right? Number one, as an entrepreneur, you're always gonna be working. The notion that you can do whatever you want isn't completely accurate. There's certain meetings that you can't miss. There's certain clients you have to talk to. There's certain things you have to do that day that you don't feel like doing, but your business will collapse if you don't do it. So there's way more pressure. And you can't just BS your way as an entrepreneur because your business will absolutely fall apart. So I don't really like the unrealistic nature of being an entrepreneur. I mean, for me, the way I look at it is a tool to really improve your habits, your life, and it's also a tool to also get more leverage in life, So if you know that you have this business that's been generating revenue in the background, you are not going to be completely reliant on a company to pay you or to mistreat you. So it gives you kind of more leverage, which is nice, but if you look at a 9 to 5, and we can talk about some of the pros and cons of a 9 to 5, but at the very least, some of the pros is that when you're going to get paid, how much you're going to get paid, and when you're going to get off work, right? As an entrepreneur, you're working all day, every day. You're working basically either whenever you have the energy to or whenever you're needed, especially in the beginning. And you work way harder in the beginning than you would in a 9 to 5, So I never really quite understood the bashing for a 9 to 5 because to me, a 9 to 5 is a tool to basically it's really kind of like a tool to me, right? It is something that, yes, it can be stressful dealing with coworkers. It can be very corporate. You have to be very buttoned up, things of that nature. Yes, I totally understand that. But the other side of it it provides you a platform in order to help build your business. And a lot of people my age, they're tending to just want to start a business just straight out of college, but they don't have the income to actually back it up. So my question is this, right? Is a 9 to 5 for you, right? And I think here's how it will be for you, is if you don't have a financial backing, and I don't just mean your parents are taking care of you. I mean, you're actually independent because you have some type of income flowing in the background that can help fund your business. If you have that, then yeah, you don't need a 9 to 5. But how many people have that? Not a lot of people, right? Now, you might talk about control and how you need to, you get told what to do and when to do it and how to do it, but you get that much worse in a business. If you have a client, you can't just do what you want to do with the client. You have to do what the client asks for. You can suggest things, but if the client wants it this way and you want it done that way, you're going to have to listen to that client. So you're always going to be taking instructions from someone. Even as you grow your business and you start getting investors or you start getting debt or you start getting actual things that will scale your business to multi-million-dollar, if not billion-dollar valuations, you're going to have to listen to somebody. You're even going to have to listen to your own employees if they tell you that the way that you put your systems together suck, it should be like this. You're going to have to actually listen always. So take the notion out that if you're an entrepreneur, you don't have to listen to anyone and you don't have to do anything. Like you don't have to it's a bad attitude because it's just not accurate. You're always going to have to listen to someone, always. And honestly, I just think like a 9 to 5 is just not as bad as people say it is. It's just something that you can use to build your value in the present moment. And then, yeah, sure, you can go off on your own, but you can't just leap off the cliff without a parachute. That will be a real problem. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about the 9 to 5, and let me know what you guys are planning to do. So thanks for listening, and make sure you stay in scope.